This time we go back in history a little way and look at a classic truck. The model comes in an outer shipping carton, and as it says on the box, is a Mammoet collectible. And if we go to the end of the box, we see that it's a Mack RD800.
Let's weigh it up.
It lands on the weighbridge and clocks up a 1 pound 6 ounces, which is 620 gramlets. Okay, it says do not use blades to open, so we'll just rip it apart. Yeah, no one's stopping me getting this box open. Inside we can see that there's the usual red and black colour scheme, and we have the typical Mammoet branded box. It is a Mammoet collectible, and there it is, the Mammoet Mack RD800, and there's a photo of it. The Mammoet model number is 410311. On the back we have a variety of badges, including that this model is made by Heavy Haul Replicas. Now it comes to the time when we open the box and see what's inside-y. And it's no surprise to see the usual expanded polystyrene trays. There's a taped on bag on top, so here begins the knife work. Also camouflaged is the access to another tray, and the knife gets to have another go. A few parts come out and they're nicely wrapped in soft paper, and then the knife gets to work overtime to cut the tape all around the trays. Once that's done, we can lift the lid and see what's inside. And there we have the model in its red and black colour scheme, so we'll carefully lift that out. And there is some soft protective paper. After that we have more bags and other parts, so there are actually quite a few bits and pieces. There's a Mammoet collector card which says that 1000 models have been made, and we have a really nice metal plate, and we'll look at that some more shortly. There is some protective packaging on the model which has to be removed, and that's to stop parts opening during shipping. There's also some tape on the winch, and some tiny pieces of foam rubber which protect some chains. To start the assembly, there's a pin which goes in the towing hitch at the front, and also included are spare door mirrors, although there are some fitted already. The ballast box is a metal part, and it has stands which press into holes on the deck of the truck. A plastic piece representing tarpaulin also presses in. A nice detail are the 2 fixing chains which are used to secure the ballast box, and these hook on 2 tiny tie-down points on the deck and on the box itself. It's a bit fiddly, but it looks good when it's done, and you can position them so they look like they're tensioned up a little bit. A whole load of parts are included, such as road cones. There's a fire extinguisher, 2 nice metal oversized load plates, wheel chocks and a spare pin, 4 flags and 8 replica timbers in 2 different lengths, and in case you get a puncture in the display case, a couple of spare tyres. Although all these pieces wouldn't count as ballast, you can load them into the ballast box.
Let's weigh it up again.
The complete model comes in at just under 13 ounces, which is a full year's worth of grams. Starting underneath, and there's a unique towing hitch arrangement at the front, and the leaf springs on the front axle are modelled. There's a detailed drive shaft and gearbox, and there are hoses running to the rear axles. There are large boxes on each side, and a highlight of the detailing is the rear axles, and in particular there are some gold coloured parts. The tyres have a nice looking tread pattern. Up on top there's lots of small detailing behind the cab, and that includes proper tie-down points and also some nice textured surfaces. And sitting in the middle of it all is a detailed fifth wheel. Another high point is the detailing behind the cab. There are lights and a really nice mesh grille, and there's a detailed winch assembly. At the front there's a gold Mack Bulldog on top, and the Mack name is rendered really well. Behind the radiator protection bar there's an excellent grille, and the lights look very authentic. There's no license plate, but that seems to reflect the real truck being modelled. The quality of the graphics is very sharp. Up on top of the cab there are 4 air horns and a number of lights. The mirror assemblies are chromed, and there are very thin windscreen wipers. There's a grab rail by the side of the cab door and nice Mammoet graphics on the door, and there is particularly fine artwork on the hood. And that represents the status of this truck as a show truck. Below the cab door the fuel tank includes a step, and the detailing of the wheel is particularly good, although there's no branding on the tyres. The exhausts have realistic looking holes and very high quality chrome work. Another very fine detail is the chain holders on the side, and if we unhook one you can see how fine the detailing is. There's even an extremely tiny hook to put the chain on. Moving back further there's more excellent artwork and very nicely detailed reflectors, and the textured surface looks great. Again, the wheels are excellent with a Mack graphic on the hubs. The ballast box has got very sharp Mammoet graphics. And another nice touch on the model are the flexible mud flaps. At the rear there are big chevron graphics on the box, and all of the tiny details are very pleasing. And finally on one side of the cab there's a very nice air intake. A really nice inclusion with the model is this metal signboard, and it's of the type you would see at a truck show, and it comes with its own stand. The plate tells the story of the truck, including that it was built in 1994, and this plate is a great way to present that story. Starting underneath and all of the wheels spin freely, and the steering functionality is really good with a very sharp angle being possible. There's also fully sprung suspension on each of the axles. Right side up, and the fifth wheel has got functionality. It's adjustable for longitudinal position. It's also properly functional with a locking spring clip, and that works very well. If you want to get pulled, you can use the winch and pull out as much rope as you want. Out on the road the Mack rolls along very smoothly, and you can see that the suspension has got full springiness. The excellent steering also allows a very sharp angle to be turned, so this aspect is top notch. A plastic pointer is included and that lets you open up the hood easily, and it's well worthwhile because there's a nice detailed engine underneath. The hood is also in a gull wing fashion, so you can open up the other side, and that gives you a different viewing aspect of the engine. The pointer can also be used to open up the cab doors, and there's also air ride suspension on the seats. The opening doors also gives you a good view of the excellent detail inside. Another extraordinary feature is the working towing hitch at the back. It's absolutely tiny, but it does open up. This is an extremely high quality model of a Mack show truck in Mammoet colours. It's really a great combination of precise detailing and excellent functionality, and Heavy Haul Replicas has produced a great model. The complete package is also very well presented. So if you collect Mammoet models or you like classic heavy haulage, then there's no doubt this model is excellent.